Hey everybody, it's me, Emily, and I have something that was at first a secret, but I just can't hold it much longer. I'm sorry, please excuse me. It's just really depressing, and I've been very depressed for about a month now, and you might want to get out some Kleenex or tissues or whatever it is you have. 'Cause this is personal, but I'm not afraid to share it anymore. There was a boy in my grade in school named Nicholas John Meyer. We'd known each other since we were 5 years old in kindergarten, and we were best of friends. Great playmates through our early childhood, and excuse me, I'm sorry. And through the years our love grew and grew and grew, and when I was 11 I started having feelings for him, only to realize he was doing the same for me. In the summer out of 8th grade, it became official. And in our freshman year, that's when our love began to spark. We were a very well-known couple in our freshman year of high school at Lockport Township in Lockport, Illinois. I never saw him that much in the summer, but I saw him every day at school, sitting with me at lunch. I was at first really shy about this relationship, but I was brave enough to admit it one day in my freshman year of high school. But I was really hoping that we'd spend more time together this summer. But when I was on June 3rd, 2013, the day before, I would sing the national anthem at a Joliet Slammers game. Some of you may have seen that video. Well, my parents told me that Nick had gotten sick to the point when he was in the hospital. To say his heart stopped in his sleep, I got scared, but I was hoping. That's what made me put on this necklace here. See? You like it? Nick gave it to me for Christmas last year, and I've worn it since. But you may not have seen me wear it that much because I kind of saved it for special occasions until about a month ago. Anyway, so he couldn't make it to the Slammers game this year, so I got one of my best friends from high school, I'm not sharing any more names, to come with me, and my friend is the one who recorded me singing the national anthem at a Slammers game that day. Anyway, while I was visiting my mom in her apartment in Coal City, Illinois, I got a text from Nick's father, John, who's a basketball coach in Lockport Township High School at East Campus, that he was stabilized. I was relieved, and I was still hoping, and I felt a want to go and visit him, but I never got the chance to do it. Then, in the afternoon of June 9th, 2013, this year, my father told me that he was brain dead. Nick was brain dead. There was too much damage in his brain. He had a heart attack in his sleep that day when he was first hospitalized. And I was really upset. I felt so depressed. I now thought he was gone. I'm sorry. Then, later later that night on June 9th. Excuse me. I'm sorry. He was pronounced dead on the night of June 9th, 2013. It broke my heart into pieces. And I probably had the biggest emotional breakdown I can ever remember. Bigger, louder, longer. I often have breakdowns because of my mild autism, but that is a whole different story. June 9th probably has to be the worst day of my whole life because I lost my lifelong friend and love, Nick Meyer. He was hardly 15, and I'm expecting to turn 15 on July 15th this year. This year may be my golden birthday, but Nick's demise has kind of wrecked it. Then on June 17th, there was a service. It was all held in one day. I was probably one of the most remorseful people out of everybody in the room, other than his family. 'Cause I was really close to him. We held special places in our hearts for each other. Here's it. I got this from the service. This was him. See? I'm sorry if I just did that, but I'm not afraid to spread word anymore. I'm just not. It's already on the news, and I honestly had a bad dream that something like this would happen. Sometimes I like it when I'm psychic, but this is not one of those times. No. I've been in pain ever since June 9th, inside. I've had trouble sleeping. I wouldn't sleep until 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the earliest. I've got a quick question. Have any of you seen Sonic X? If you have you seen episodes 77 and 78 in the end of the series? If you have, you probably know how Tails felt after losing his special friend Cosmo. He was so upset. And when I first saw those videos in January, when I began to get into Sonic and Friends and Tails especially, I kept putting myself in his place. Well, guess what? I now am in his place. I'm sorry. I kept putting myself in his place. Now I am in Tails' place. I know Tails and I have a lot in common, but this has just gotten ridiculous. Very ridiculous. I can hardly believe it sometimes. And I'll probably never find love again, but I'm just glad that I've experienced it in the past. I'm sorry. I know that's every time God takes something away from you, He always gives something back. But you just never know what it is or when it's going to happen. I just hope it happens soon and that this pain will go away in time for me to start school again in August. I'm sorry for kind of crying here, but I can't help myself anymore. I consider this already the worst summer of my life. Watching Sonic X and playing some Sonic video games and just watching Tails himself and having my Tails plushie doll that you may have seen on my channel already has made me feel a little better, but I know I have to go through this pain all by myself. I'll never forget Nick. Never. I'll never forget his smile. I'll never forget our love sparking. I'll just never forget him in general. I'd give everything I had if I could just see him again. I know Tails would do the same for Cosmo, if he could. I'm sorry if I just made you cry your eyeballs out, but I can't hold this in any longer. Tails and I have a lot of things in common. Both of our lives have been really messed up, in general. But there's always some sunshine, but for me, losing Nick is total darkness. Darker than night. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't hold it in. I'm sorry. I just can't help myself anymore. I'm sorry if I just wasted your time crying, making you cry. And I'll just see you later.